Whether you've been publishing for years or you're prepping a debut, Campfire helps you share more than just your book. Add behind-the-scenes details like short stories, character profiles, maps, timelines, and more to immerse readers in new ways. And if you decide to sell your work through Campfire, we offer a generous 80% royalty on all digital sales. That's higher than the industry average because we believe in better support for authors. Plus, there are no exclusivity contracts, so you can publish with Campfire and any other marketplace simultaneously. Whether you're using Campfire's suite of writing tools or jumping in with a story already finished, let's take a few minutes to explore how this works. First things first, what do you need to self-publish on Campfire? Before you publish a story on Campfire, you'll need to create a project under the Write tab. To create a project, click New Project, and then Create a New Project here. Once you're in the project, you can either start writing your story and world building, or import something you've already written. To start writing your story from scratch, you'll need to create elements, the files within each writing module. For example, this is a character element, which is great for keeping notes about the characters in your story. When you're ready to write your story, go to the Manuscript module and create your first chapter. It's important to note that although we call a manuscript element a chapter, that doesn't mean they all need to be fully polished chapters. These can be notes, outlines, or scenes too, and you can organize everything into folders to keep track of it all. If you've already written your manuscript, go to the File menu and select Import from DocX. This will require you to have your manuscript in DocX format, but you should be able to save or export it that way using any writing software. While importing your manuscript, you can edit the way it imports too. Adjust the text formatting and decide how to break up the file between multiple chapters. For more information about how that works, watch our manuscript import guide, linked in the description below. To import anything other than your manuscript, you'll need to take a more hands-on approach. Copy your notes and paste them into the most appropriate module. Character details often go into the Characters module. Details about your setting can be organized into the Locations module, and so on. If you're not sure which module to use, just pick the one that makes the most sense for what you want to make. If you need more help writing with Campfire, watch our basic navigation tutorial, also linked below. It's a great starting point for anyone new to the software. Before publishing your story on Campfire, take the time to make sure it's ready. Here's a short checklist of everything we recommend having before you apply for publication. Edit your work. Readers will probably forgive the occasional mistake, but too many will deter them from reading your work at all. Make sure you edit your work or find someone who can. Readers have a lot of choices. Make your work stand out with an attention-grabbing title and a hook near the beginning of your blurb. Create or commission a cover for your story. It should look like a book cover with a title and author's name, all of which should be easy to read. If you're having trouble creating one for yourself, Canva has a ton of cover templates you can draw inspiration from, and there are a ton of free Creative Commons licensed images on Unsplash or Pexels. Your story does not have to be complete if you're sharing it for free, but if you intend to sell your work, we ask that you complete it first. Finally, review our publishing guidelines. The most important things to know are that you're not allowed to publish stories with copyrighted content, or content that you don't own. The project can't contain any empty pages, and it should be in line with our community guidelines. There's a link in the description to the full post. Once you're ready to publish a project, go to the Write tab and click the More icon in the top right of the project card. Select the Publish on Campfire option. This will take you to your project manager. You can also publish your project from the File menu and select Publish on Campfire there as well. Doing this will redirect you to the project manager where you can set up your project for publication. Don't worry, no one will see anything until you're ready, so take your time to prep everything, then apply to put it on the public platform. Whether a project has been approved for publication or you haven't submitted it yet, You can access its project manager here as well under the My Projects dropdown of the Explore tab. The project manager is where published projects are customized, updated, and maintained. It is broken down into 7 major sections. First up is the listing page. Think of this as your story's basic info. The listing is where curious readers will look to learn more about a book and the author before they commit to it. And the project manager, this is where you'll set the title, cover image, description, tags, content warnings, and more. If you've got an ISBN or publisher, you can add their information here as well. If you're publishing the story under another author's name, you can change the project's author credit here. The author whose name you're publishing under will need to give you permission using the Publisher Accounts options under their account settings. If you're publishing the story under a pen name, you can use the same Publisher Accounts tool. Just set up and link it to a secondary account that you own. Be sure to fill out that account's display name, bio, and add a profile picture as well. A project's homepage is a great place to update readers about what's new or guide new readers toward where they should begin with your story. We'll provide an easy template to work with, but some authors like to get creative and make custom homepages with the advanced editor. It has a few additional options to give you more control over how you display your project, such as update blocks, quotes, and carousels. Each of the content blocks in our advanced editor has a few additional tools as well, such as the ability to reorganize them and apply custom background colors. The chapters page is dedicated to the chapters in your story, or short stories in your collection. They don't need to be actual chapters. You'll come here to select which manuscript elements to include and organize them so that they appear in the correct order. Any chapters that you don't add will remain private. This is also where you can edit your chapter's formatting, so you don't need to go through every chapter in the story to make sure the fonts and styling are consistent. At this point, it's probably worth checking out the Preview Changes button. While reading on Campfire, your chapters are displayed in our e-reader rather than the text editor in the Manuscript module. So it's a good idea to check in and see how the settings you picked are displayed. For example, if you hand-wrote chapter titles at the start of each chapter already, you'll want to make sure that your chapter number selection is either numerical or hidden so nothing is repeated. Alternatively, if you didn't manually add chapter headings, we've got you covered here. Let's return to the project manager and look at the elements page. This is where you select which non-chapter elements to include in your project. Like with chapters, anything you don't add will remain private. Once you've selected some elements, you can specify when during the story they should be revealed to the reader. There's a global toggle on this page to reveal all elements or hide them until the reader has finished your story. Or you can jump back to the characters page and assign elements to be revealed when readers finish specific chapters, like so. When a reader reaches the end of a chapter, they'll be able to see what they revealed. Also note that changes you make to chapters and elements have to be applied in your project manager. Changes won't appear until you sync those files, so you can make notes on the fly without worrying about what might accidentally be revealed to your readers. The publishing page is where you can apply to publish and monetize your story. This is where you can manage the project's visibility. There are 3 options. The project is private by default, only the project owner can view it. If you want to share your project with just a few people, enable link sharing, and anyone with that link can view it. Finally, self-published projects appear on Campfire, available for anyone to read. While self-published on Campfire, a project can either be free or monetized. By default, your project will be available for free when it's published unless you set monetization up ahead of time. While free, anyone can read any part of it at no cost. Monetization requires an additional application, though it can be submitted at the same time when you apply to publish your story. Anyone who wants to read a monetized story won't have complete access until they purchase it. You'll have control over which chapters and elements to lock and which to make free. If your project is monetized, the publishing page changes to reflect that. This is where you'll be able to manage what parts of your project are paid only, set up your packages for sale, and determine how much each one sells for. You can learn more about monetization and managing monetized stories on Campfire by checking out our written tutorial linked in the description. If you would like to learn more about your readership, check out the analytics page. You can see how many readers you have, how well your story retains them, and more. If your project is monetized, this page gains an extra tab where you can learn more about your story's sales and the readers who have purchased it. And if you need any additional help with the project manager, you can always open the Help page. And that's how to self-publish your story on Campfire. If you need help with any of this, check the description for all of the tutorials mentioned in this video, including the written version of this one. Let us know in the comments if you have any questions, or reach out to our team on your preferred social channel. We can't wait to see what you publish on Campfire. Thanks for watching.